All right. All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom to the elect, those that are fighting to endure to the end, and that are calling on the names of the Father and the only begotten Son in all truth and sincerity, which are Yahweh, the name of the Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Yahweh Shai, the name of the only begotten Son, meaning He is our salvation, okay? And that's what's leading us into the topic of the day, into the preaching, the sermon today is what? Change your smoke detectors / carbon monoxide, okay? Make sure you have the right smoke detector, the smoke detectors / carbon monoxide, okay? Because a lot of people in these last days, they don't have either one, the right smoke detector, or two, good enough batteries, all right? You got to make sure you got it all right? You got to make sure you got a good smoke detector. So if you need to change your smoke detector, meaning what? Your doctrine, now is the time to change it, okay? Now is the time to change it, okay? Because once all hell breaks loose, it's going to be too late, man, all right? If you call it on false idols, if you call it on, so-called Jesus, if you call it on Allah, if you call it on any other name, now is the time to repent and to change it. Make changes, man, all right? Because once the fire is here, it's going to be too late. So now is the time to change your smoke detectors, okay? / your carbon monoxide, all right? Because one thing that you have to learn about odorless gases is that you don't know it until you know it, okay? You won't know they're seeping into your house or your car or whatever until it's too late, all right? Until you're knocked out, somewhere passed out, and if you don't get fresh air in the right amount of time, you're going to suffocate, all right? The same with this truth. This truth is a breath of fresh air, okay? It's a smoke detector. It's a carbon monoxide detector, all right? It detects odorless gases and tell you that what? Danger, danger, danger. How does it do? How does it go about doing that? Easy. The Most High has set up prophets, his servants, in these last days to blow that alarm, to blow that trumpet, okay? Matter of fact, let's get that in Joel 2. This is the book of Joel, chapter 2 and verse 1. It reads, blow ye the trumpet in Zion. You see, as a servant, as a prophet, we are given a task to blow the trumpet, okay? When we see danger, we that smoke detector on the behalf of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai that he has set up to alarm you that there's danger, okay? When you can see it and when you can't see it, all right? Because as I said earlier, with carbon monoxide, you can't see it and you can't smell it, okay? And it'll creep up on you unless you have some type of warning or alarm to go off to tell you that, hey, there's a unhealthy amount of carbon monoxide in a confined area, okay? So you have to change your smoke detectors and you have to keep batteries and check the batteries periodically, okay? That's why the second part of this, we're gonna go into 2 Corinthians, all right? 13 and 5, examining yourself. You gotta constantly check your batteries, okay? To see whether or not you got good enough batteries to even detect the smoke or the carbon monoxide, okay? It's one thing to change your smoke detector, but it's another thing to keep the upkeep, to make sure the batteries are working, to make sure you gotta do your tests, to make sure that it can sound that alarm, all right? So back to Joel 2 and verse 1, it reads, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, you see? And that's what we're doing, especially in these last days, okay? When you can't see the danger, because why? It's odorless, but you can detect it, okay? We're blowing the trumpet, letting you know that what? There's danger coming, man, all right? We're watching and measuring the time diligently, as it tells us to do so in 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. When thou see part of these come to pass, okay? We're hearing that time, all right? And we're blowing the trumpet and letting you know that there's danger coming, all right? In the form of what? Jacob's trouble, followed by what? World War III and America being completely annihilated, okay? So we out here doing what we were commanded to do, blow the trumpet, let the people know that there's a fire coming, that what else? That there's missiles coming, that there's hard times, man, okay? So it says, Joel 2 and 1, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. All right, that alarm is us telling you that it's not all good, man. All right, it's not all good. There are no more good times here in Babylon the Great, America, man. The roller coaster ride is coming to an end, okay? All those good times you may have reminisced and thought back prior to 2020 and moving forward, it's through, man. It ain't going back. It ain't going back to that time. It's only moving forward. And moving forward, there's only pain and misery coming, man. All right? Those are the only two things that's coming here to Babylon the Great. Pain and misery, depending on what side of the fence you on, okay? Now, if you got Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai in your corner, then guess what? You're going to be taken care of. But if not, you have nothing but pain and misery to look forward to, okay? So it says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. All right? This ain't an alarm or a horn that we're blowing for rejoicing. No, this is a trumpet, this is a horn, this is an alarm that we're blowing to tell you that what? There's danger coming, man. Okay? Little do you know it, there's danger coming, okay? And the stage is being set for that danger to play out, man. All right? Earlier this week in Portugal and Spain, they had a blackout where almost 60 to 80% of Spain was out of power, okay? And that's known as a developed country, man. We could see if it happened to Cuba like it did a while back, okay? or Haiti, but we're talking about Spain, which is close to being as developed as possible. So guess what? It's on its way to America, man. Mass outages, whatever the case may be, cyber attacks, power outages. Okay, they tried to chalk that one up to a atmospheric phenomenon. Whatever they want to go about doing to bring forth that agenda, we telling you, get ready. Okay, get ready, because why? It's all on the table, man. All right. See, and if you ain't got your smoke detectors up to date or swapped out for ones that work, guess what? You ain't gonna see the danger coming. All right. Even if we out here telling you, okay, because ultimately it has to be the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to guide you to this, to take heed. Okay. Because the Most High can have you have a brand new smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector, and you still can't sense the danger. Why? Because it wasn't given to you. Okay. Here it is. You don't went out and replaced your old smoke detector, you see, and bought you a new one, a more up-to-date one. But guess what? You forgot to check your batteries. Okay. So what good is a new smoke detector if the batteries don't work? Or if you put them in backwards? Okay. Here it is. You got the smoke detector. You got new batteries, but you put them in ass backwards, man. And you can't go into Jacob's trouble ass backwards, okay? You got to be on fire. You got to be on point. No pun intended. You just got to hit the ground running, man. And the only way you're going to do that is you keep staying in this truth, all right? This is our constant, up-to-date analysis on what's going on, okay? So it says, Joel 2:1, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. All right. What does that day look like? Well, it's going to look like none other. Jacob's trouble. All the way up until what? The missiles. Okay. Let's get that in Malachi 4. All right. This is the book of Malachi. The day of Yahweh is coming, man. See, and if you don't got the smoke detector and the right batteries and put them in the right way, you ain't gonna know what's coming. So let's go to Malachi 4 and let's start at the top. This is Malachi 4:1. It reads, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. This is why you need to change your smoke detector. Okay, because this day is coming that is what is going to burn as an oven, man. You ever stuck your arm or your head or any part of your body inside an oven that's fully turned all the way up? How long can you stay in there for? Not too long, man. All right. Well, it's going to be worse than that. It's going to be worse than that when this comes. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. All right. It's going to really burn, man. When those missiles hit and you don't got the detection or the smoke detector or the carbon monoxide detector to tell you that, hey, call on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right? Guess what? You through, man. All right? You're through. Okay? It says, yea. Malachi 4:1. The second part of this, yea. Well, let me start from the top. Malachi 4:1, the title, The Coming Day of Yahweh. Verse 1, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. You see? You're going to burn like that, instantaneously, okay? That's why, what is that, Zechariah? Let me see if I can get that. This is Zechariah 14 and verse 12. It reads, and this shall be the plague wherewith, okay, Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, right? So this plague is coming against all the people, the other nations. There's 18 nations altogether. So minus one all the other nations, 17 nations, they're going to get this right here that we're finna read. And not to forget the 2/3 of our people too, okay? Because why? They didn't take heed. So it says, Zechariah 14:12, and this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Check it out. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. So as the missiles are coming, their flesh is going to consume away while they standing on their feet. We read in Malachi 4 that the day cometh that's going to burn them up as stubble, man. Okay? And you ain't going to have no kind of detection to tell you these things, all right? Because why? One, you didn't change your smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector for the right one. And two, you either didn't have the right batteries or you put them in the wrong way, okay? So now what's going to happen? You have no alarm, you have no heads up of danger or nothing, okay? So it says, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume in their holes. So not only are you going to stand upon your feet and your flesh is going to consume away, but your eyes are going to consume too, all right? This is not something that you want to go through because you didn't change your smoke detector, or because you put the wrong batteries in, or because you put the batteries in the wrong way. Just that one slip up of you putting that battery upside down can cost you to have your body to consume away and your eyes as well, okay? In their sockets, in their holes. What else? It says, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. So your tongue as well, man. Your flesh, your eyes, your tongue is all going to consume away like stubble in that day. Because why? You don't have the right smoke detector / carbon monoxide, okay? And then on top of that, you put the batteries in the wrong way, or you went out and got the wrong batteries to detect these type of things, okay? Meaning what? You didn't constantly examine yourself, okay? Because hey, let's say you put the batteries in right one time, but upon your regular routine, you forgot to put them in the right way or put them back in the right way. So that's why we got to constantly examine ourselves, man, whether or not we be in the faith, okay? Because, hey, people fall out all the time, all right? That's why we got to pray we of that number, the elect, man, okay? Because people fall out all the time and go back into the world where they through. No protection, no detector or anything. They're through, okay? So let's read that again. Zechariah 14:12. It says, and this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. All right? That's a horrible way to go. Because why? You forgot to change your batteries, or either you didn't even get the right smoke detector that can detect both smoke and carbon monoxide. All right? It's going to be a sad way to go, man. And that's how a majority of our people here in America are going to go out along with the other nations. They're going to go out and what? Being consumed with that fire, okay? Because why? They didn't have that smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector, okay? So let's go back to Malachi 4 now that we have that established. This is Malachi 4 and verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. That's what we were reading in Zechariah 14, the 12th verse. And all the proud, see, it was that pride that got you, that made you think, oh yeah, I put the batteries in the right way. I don't need to check. See, that's why you gotta constantly examine yourself. Or it was your pride that said, oh yeah, my smoke detector good. I don't need to swap it out for another one. I'm good. See, it was that pride that got you, okay? Because what does it say? Pride goeth before a haughty spirit. All right? So that's why you got to examine yourself to make sure you're not proud, man. Okay? You got to be humble in this thing, man. It's a level of humility that you have to have in this truth, man. You can't get too proud, man, because the Most High can, put the spirit on you to mischeck your batteries or to go out and buy an outdated smoke detector, okay? Or don't even get the one that can detect both smoke and carbon monoxide, all right? That's why you got to be humble. So it says, Malachi 4:1, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. All right? And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh of hosts. We read that in Zechariah 14:12, man. Okay, we read that day that's going to come as an oven. We're reading it right now in Malachi 4. It says, that shall leave them neither root nor branch. Okay? Ultimately, Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white, so-called white man, is going to be done away with, and his whole progeneration is going to be completely done away with after his 1,000 years of slavery, pursuant to Obadiah 1:18. Okay? He's going to be completely done away with off the face of the earth. That's what it's really talking about. All right? That's the proud Esau, Edom. But guess what? If you join hand in hand with them, you're going to experience that same judgment, okay? So let's go on to read verse 2, Malachi 4:2. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. You got to have the name, man. All right? That's part of the healing, is having the correct name. That goes along with having the correct doctrine, okay? You cannot be out here calling on Jesus or Allah or Buddha or anybody else, man. That's not sound doctrine, okay? That's not examining yourself. That's not having the correct equipment, okay? You got to have the smoke/carbon monoxide detector. You got to have the right batteries, and you got to put them in the right way. And you got to constantly check up to make sure they're still good, okay? You don't get to stop checking until you hit the chariots, man. That's when you don't have to worry about checking your smoke detector anymore, /carbon monoxide detector, okay? So it says, but unto you that fear my name, which is Yahweh, shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. Right? You see, you're gonna have it. You're gonna have it. You're gonna have it looked out for you, taking care of you. All right. Isaiah 65, and is that 13? My servants shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Let me see if I can bring that up. Isaiah 65. In verse 13, it reads, therefore, thus saith Yahweh Almighty, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. You see, we're going to be taken care of in that day, like the calf in the stall. We're going to have everything we need, man. All right, because why? We are up under the healing wings of the Son of Righteousness, okay? Which we know to be Yahweh Shah. So Malachi 4 in verse 2, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall, and ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. In the day that I shall do this, saith Yahweh of hosts. See? So guess what? We're gonna be untouchable, man. We're gonna be untouchable. Okay? Nothing can harm us. He should give us power to tread on scorpions, man. All right? So just, hey, as it says, don't rejoice because you can tread on scorpions. Rejoice because your name is written in the book, man. That's the reason why you rejoice, because all of this doesn't apply to you unless your name is written in the book. Okay? That's the reason why we're rejoicing. Not because we're going to get powers to tread on the other nations. That's part of it. But ultimately, because our name was written in the book, meaning that what? We were with Yahweh Shai from the foundation, his first fruits, man. Okay? Meaning what? We going to be taken care of, man. All right? Verse 3, Malachi 4 and 3. Let's read that again. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. In the day that I shall do this, saith Yahweh of hosts. Verse 4. Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. You see? So yeah, although the law isn't going to save us per se, we still have to keep it to the best of our ability, okay? Because not it opens up all type of judgments for you, okay? Especially once the door of mercy is closed, okay? You're gonna have 2/3 of our people getting judged out here, okay? Why? Because they sinning. What is sin? Transgression against the law, okay? So to some extent, you gotta know the law, all right? And keeping it to the best of your ability, because why? If not, you're sinning. Although the law can't save you, without it, not knowing, you're gonna be open up to what? All type of judgments, man. You see? And there will be no excuses that you didn't know. Because why? The word is going out in high power. All right? The word is going out high power. There's no excuse, man. Okay? The internet, the unicorn, is doing majority of the heavy lifting. It's feeding, okay? Through the internet, we're feeding the lost sheep this quintessential salvation through Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. We're preaching the word, man. Okay? We're telling you, check your smoke detectors. Make sure you got the right one. You want the one that can detect both smoke and carbon monoxide, okay? Now is the time to get it while you still can, okay? Because once all hell breaks loose, it's gonna be scarce finding those smoke detectors / carbon monoxide detectors, okay? It's gonna be scarce. Just gonna tell you right off the rip. Once all hell breaks loose, you ain't gonna find these smoke detectors and these carbon monoxide detectors out here blowing alarms and sounding alarms and trumpets anymore, okay? That odorless gas that emits from carbon monoxide, it's gonna take a lot of you jake out, man. A lot of you 2/3 are gonna get knocked out by that carbon monoxide. And unless the Most High have mercy on you and you are of the elect, you're not gonna wake up in time to get that fresh air that you so desperately need, man. Okay? Why? Because you rejected this word. Okay? And as it says, because thou hast rejected knowledge, what's that? Hosea 4 and 6? Hosea 4 and 6. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Okay? Let's double check and make sure. Hosea chapter 4. This is Hosea 4 and 6. It reads, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. because thou hast rejected knowledge. This is why you're going to be destroyed, man. Because when the knowledge was out here given to you freely, and you could get all the smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors that you want, you didn't get them. You waited till you had to see the smoke coming from afar off to run out and try to get them. So that's Jake's problem, man. Jake always want to wait till the last second, okay? You don't want to go out there and get them while there's bountiful and plenty of them. You want to wait till it's scarce, till it's the last one. Well, guess what? It's going to come a time where that last one ain't going to be out there no more, okay? And you're going to be destroyed. Because why? You rejected knowledge. That's what we're reading now in Hosea 4. It says, Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. Okay? And this is why we had to be woken up all over again, because we went off in the past, okay? We were our forefathers coming back time after time after time until the time that we were supposed to receive this truth after 3 days and a half, which was spoken by a man by the name of Abba Business, that we believe in the spirit is reincarnated as Elijah. Okay, he had to come back, and now this truth is at the end. Okay, so now the elect, that small remnant, is all but sealed. Okay, and now there's what? Nothing but judgment that's coming over the horizon, man. And if you don't have your smoke/carbon monoxide detector, you ain't gonna have no choice, or you ain't gonna have no idea that it's coming. Okay, because let's say you can see the smoke coming, you can't see the odor, you can't see the carbon monoxide, because why? It's odorless. You can't smell it, so how are you going to detect it? Okay? So, back to Malachi 4, in verse 4, it reads, remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. Verse 5, behold, I will send you Elijah. Okay, like I said, we believe that to be our business. Okay, so Elijah had to come on the scene, which he already did, signifying what? That we in the end time. Okay, we in that third day. Okay, it says Malachi 4:5. Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahweh. See? So Elijah has already been here. Now, what's next is the great and dreadful day of Yahweh, man. We reading about it, and we read about part of it in Zechariah 14:12. And we read about the other part in the beginning of this chapter of Malachi 4:1. And we're going to read a look, well, the rest is in 2 Peter 3, but we're going to read a couple of passages out of 2 Peter 3. Abba Rathasah, Father will, if I can remember. So it says, verse 6, Malachi 4:6, and he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers. Right? See, this is the awakening, okay? When Elijah came on the scene, you know, he returned the heart of the children to the father and the father to the children, man. So now we know who our power is. We know his name. And if anybody telling you that we don't, they going off, man. Change your smoke detector from that person, okay? Get rid of that smoke detector. If they're telling you that the name is anything but Yahweh and his only begotten son Yahweh Shai, change your smoke detector quick, all right? Don't wait around, man, all right? They misleading you. They're hirelings, okay? As it says in John 10, right around verses 12 and 13. It says, verse 6, Malachi 4 and 6, and he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. See? So the Most High had to what? Return us back to the fathers, man, to our forefathers, okay? Knowing who we are, okay? So that we can repent, so that we can have the right smoke detector, and that we can continually examine to make sure the batteries are in the correct position and that they work, okay? Matter of fact, let's get that. 2 Corinthians 13 and verse 5. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 5. It reads, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. So we have to continuously examine ourselves, okay? Make sure our batteries are in the right way. Make sure our batteries are working, okay? Because sometimes, you know, the flesh, it gets tired, man. That's just part of having this sinful flesh, man. It goes off, it gets tired. So what do we have to do? We have to examine ourselves, man. All right? Read the scriptures, pray more, fast, ask for guidance, ask for understanding, okay? And the Holy Spirit will reveal it to you in due time if it's meant for you to receive it, okay? So it says, 2 Corinthians 13 and 5, examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahushua Hamashiach is in you, except you be reprobates, right? Castaways, okay? So we have to continuously examine ourselves, updates. What am I doing? Am I doing what's necessary of me to continue to stay in this faith? And if not, change your batteries. Make sure they're in the right way, okay? We're too close to the end. We're too close to the end for you to slip up and not have your smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector go off because you forgot to check your batteries, okay? This sinful flesh is prone to all type of slip-ups and errors, man. But we have to examine ourselves in the faith. See, the spirit is going to fight, man. That's why it says it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. All right? The words that I speak to you, they are spirit, man. All right? I believe that's in the book of John. Let's see if I can get that. It might be John. This is the book of John, chapter 6 and verse 63. It reads, it is the spirit, this is Yahushua speaking, red letters. Yahushua is saying, it is the spirit that quickeneth. The flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. This is the batteries that we need, man, to charge us. This flesh is prone to go off, man. It's weak, all right? This is the battery. This is the ultimate battery, man. Reading this is going to keep your batteries charged in the spirit, man, all right? If not, you easily can go off, man. You got to make an effort, a conscious attempt, all right? You got to, daily, okay? Say a prayer. Do a video, do a lesson, do something on a daily basis to keep your battery charged in the spirit, man. All right? We're too close to the end for you to forget to check your batteries to make sure that either one, still good, or two, put in the right way, man. All right? You got the smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector, but now you got to check your batteries, man. All right? You have to, okay? This flesh is prone to go off, man. If you give over to this flesh, you won't check them anymore, all right? You'll feel like you got it. See, that's that pride. That's that proudness, man. You gotta constantly update with the word, man. You gotta check in with the Father constantly, man. Okay? This is a constant check-in. You know, back when you stayed with your parents, you had to constantly check in with them. You gotta constantly check in with the Father, man. Okay? Read, study, do a lesson, stay in the spirit, man. It's quintessential to your salvation, your deliverance, that you stay in the spirit, man. All right? That you check your smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector, okay? And the batteries as well. So you got to constantly examine yourself, all right? Because you're going to have people that scoff, that tell you that what it is that you're doing ain't significant, and they gone, man. They smoke detector never was working, all right? Or if it did, they only had the smoke detector. They didn't have the carbon monoxide detector, okay? Let's go there, 2 Peter 3. This is 2 Peter 3 and 2 Peter's chapter 3 and verse 3. It reads, knowing this first, that there should come in the last days scoffers. So the Bible is putting us up on game, man. It's getting you prepared. It's getting you ready, man. You're going to have scoffers, okay? Let them scoff, man. All right? We're going to see how much scoffing they're going to do when Zechariah 14 and 12 hit, man. Zechariah 14 and 12 is going to kill all that scoffing, man. All right? That's why it says Psalms, what is that? 104 and 3? Let's see if we can get that. All that scoffing is coming to an end, man. This is the book of Psalms. One second. Psalms, let me try. Let me look that up. I know it's in the day that. Let me see if I can get that. Okay. I was off a few chapters. This is Psalms 110 and verse 3. Okay. See, these scoffers, they're gonna get their time in the sun. They're gonna get their time in the sun to shine, to shine, man. They just don't know it yet. Okay? They're gonna get their time in the sun to shine. This is Psalms 110. In verse 3, it reads, Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. See, they're gonna be willing then, but guess what? It's gonna be too late, man. Oh, I should have never. No, man, that's your ass. Okay, that's it. You through. All right, you scoffed, you made fun, you didn't believe. So guess what? In the day, it says what? Psalms 110:3. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. Okay, see, the Most High is gonna raise up a standard on this side, and it's going to give them spiritual powers, man. And all you scoffers, you're going to have to pay for it, okay? It says, in the beauty of holiness from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth, right? So, hey, it's going to be like you reveal, what's the word I'm thinking about? It's going to be like you, man, what's that word? I'll just say rejuvenated, okay? It's going to be as if you was rejuvenated once you get that power, once the Most High give you that spirit, the Holy Spirit, and he turn it all the way up. It's going to be as you rejuvenated, like you back in your youth, okay? So let these scoffers scoff, man, okay? They through anyways, all right? So let's go back there and read that in 2 Peter's. This is 2 Peter's 3:3. It says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days, which we in currently, scoffers, walking after their own lusts. Right. That's why now it's a thing to go against the Israelites, man. Everybody want to save the so-called white man, okay? Never mind all his atrocities, okay? They forget all that, all right? They want to come after the Israelites. Now they, bad-mouthing the Israelites. Black Hebrew Israelites, okay? Never mind what this so-called white devil been doing for centuries, man. Okay, he gets a pass for all his wickedness that he's done, but now it's because the Black Hebrew Israelites that everything is going out of place, getting out of hand, getting out of line. All right. So you scoff, you make your videos, you keep talking about sweet Jesus. We're going to see what happened in that day when the Most High gives that standard to his elect, okay, on this side, all right? We shall see if you're going to still be scoffing in that day or not. So 2 Peter 3:4, and saying, this is one of the biggest scoffers, they like to say, where is the promise of his coming? Oh, y'all been out there prophesying for decades, man. He ain't came yet. That's straight up scoffing, man. You see? But see, the Most High, the Most High gonna make mockery out of you once and for all, man. All right? Because once he start to show up, you're gonna be praying that he didn't. All right? And he gonna laugh and mock and ridicule you because one, you don't have the name. All right? So just calling on Jesus is going to fuel the fire even more. Your pains are only going to ratchet up another level, okay? So it says, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. See, things are never go what you say. That's what they do. They look at us and they see us out here on the highway and the hedges, preaching and saying, man, they just preaching just to be preaching, man. They ain't got nothing better else to do than come out on a Saturday or Friday or Sunday, whatever day, and preach. That's all they got to do. They ain't got no life, okay? America ain't gonna be destroyed, all right? I got tickets to the NBA Finals. They've been saying this for years, you see? Until, like I said, in the day of Noah, until that first drop came down, and then it was all hell from there, man, for you non-believers, okay? knocking on the ark, trying to get in. Let me in, Noah. Nope. Once that door is shut, it's shut, man. Okay? You can't get in. All right? Now is the time to get in, because once that door is shut, that's it. The door of mercy is closed. You can't get in. All right? You can't. Unless the Most High wants you in, you won't. Okay? So let's read that again. 2 Peter 3 and 4. And saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. Okay? Hey, it ain't gonna take a lot to put things off course like they did back in 2020. Okay? We seeing it right now, man. Okay? They projected a few weeks out, there's gonna be scarcity in a lot of these stores, man. You see? But you people ain't gonna have no clue, because why? You don't have a smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector. So you ain't gonna know till you walk into the store and you don't see anything on the shelves anymore. Okay? And what has Trump did to counter that? He has put into provisions executive orders strengthening American law enforcement, giving them what? Military grade supply, whether it's armor, whether it's ammo, whether it's tanks. They're going to be equipped to handle that first round or that first wave of civil unrest. Okay? And then what's going to happen later? They're going to allow or unleash the robots and UN troops. Because why? These law-abiding citizens, they're going to get tired of putting down their own people. They're going to say, man, I done had enough. They're going to walk away from their jobs. Well, by that time, they're going to already have the second round of provisions already put into place by these foreign adversaries from other parts of the world that's already here already. That came in through the what? Through the border down there in Texas. The Chinese, Moab, the Africans, the Hamites. Okay? They already here for that second round, that second wave. Once the local law and state police don't want to do it anymore, they're going to be replaced by UN troops and AI, artificial intelligent robots. Okay? That's going to finish the job. All right? And you got to remember, under the DOD 5240-1 or period 1, they can engage the citizens with lethal force now. Okay? So, hey, we telling you the time is coming, man. Take heed or don't. It ain't gonna cause us to lose any sleep. Okay? We gonna sleep just fine. All right, because we did what was required and asked of us. Okay? Which is what? Sound that alarm, man. Blow that trumpet in Zion. Okay? We doing what's required of us. We giving you sound doctrine. Let's go there. This is the book of 2 Timothy. And then we're going to look up that word sound. This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4 and verse 3. It reads, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. Okay? This is all the scoffers saying that where is the promise since our fathers as rest? Where is the promise we've been hearing about? Jesus is coming since we came over here. When is he coming? See? They will not endure sound doctrine because why? They don't have the true names to know that Jesus was a psyop to throw you off, to make you not want to go look and search for the true Son, only begotten Son and Father, which is Yahweh the Father and Yahweh Shai, the only begotten Son. Okay? Only the elect will have that spirit upon them to want to go search out these things. Okay? See? But you 2/3, you good with just being scoffers. We've been hearing about that Jesus gonna come since we came over here in slavery. He ain't came yet. Not knowing that prophecy has to be fulfilled. Habakkuk 2 and 3. The vision is for an appointed time. You can't rush it, man. You cannot rush it. Okay? So it says 2 Timothy 4 and 3, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. Let's go to that word sound in the Greek. This is the word G5198. Who get? Let them play it for you. Give me 1 second.
Strong's G 5198. Hugiaino.
That's the word for sound, Hugiaino. Okay, that's where you get the word hygiene. Okay, that's where you get the word hygiene. Let's look at that word hygiene. Hygiene. Hygiene refers to the practice and conditions that maintain cleanliness and promote health. What does a smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector do? It promotes health. It tells you when danger is here. It tells you that, hey, get out. Do something that requires you to preserve your health. Okay? Let's go to, what is a smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector used for? Okay? It says, smoke detectors alert you to the presence of fire by sensing smoke or combustion products, while carbon monoxide CO detectors alert you to dangerous levels of CO, a colorless, odorless, and poisonous gas. Both are essential safety devices for your home safety. Okay? What is your home safety? Your temple, your body. All right? You need both to detect bad traces, amounts of carbon monoxide and fire, man. That's why the word sound goes into what? We're going to get the definition, but that's where you get the word hygiene from. Okay? And we read what hygiene is, man. Okay, now let's go back to the word in Greek. Shit, Esau don't want to play right, man.
Strong's G 5198.
Hugiaino. Okay, that's where you get the word hygiene. Okay, and some of the definitions of Hugiaino is to be sound, to be well. Okay, that's where the word hygiene comes from. What? To be well. Okay, you can't be well if you have odorless gases seeping in and out throughout your house or in your car. You're going to get sick. Okay, it says to be well, to be in good health. That's where you get hygiene from. So these smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors are sound doctrines for your health. This word is sound doctrine for your health. It detects unwanted and unsolicited doctrines brought to you by false pastors and preachers and men that claim to be prophets and whoever else. Okay. So let's go back to Second Timothy 4, and read the rest of verse 3. This is Second Timothy 4 and 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. So if they don't endure sound doctrine, what does that mean? They're not going to listen. They're not going to take heed. They're going to scoff. And then eventually they're going to get burned up, and then they're going to be done away with. Okay? They're going to not see it coming till it's too late. Because why? They don't have sound doctrine to detect that odorless gas. Okay? That's going to what? Knock them out. Because why? That's bad for your health, man. To the point that if you don't get immediate assistance, you'll pass out and die. Because see, that odorless gas, it cuts off the fresh air coming to you to breathe, man. A lot of people pass away because they don't have carbon monoxide detectors in their homes. Well, how much more in our temples? This is the carbon monoxide detector and smoke detector that we need to detect danger, okay? And you got to constantly update it, man. Check the batteries, make sure they're in the right way, and continue to do this all the way into the end, okay? So it says, 2 Timothy 4 and 3, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. See, this is what they want. They want to be done away with sound doctrine, and they want teachers that pacify their likings. Oh, you can still be in the world and get the money. You can still worship Jesus. These are all not sound doctrines, okay? You can be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. This is all not sound doctrine, okay? This is bad to your health, man. If you putting money first, if you worshiping Jesus, if you not decided if you want to be in or out, you come in and out whenever you feel like it. This is not all sound doctrine, okay? Well, why? They like this because these pastors and preachers placate to their itching ears, okay? But we know that they're what? They're just hirelings, man. Let's go there in St. John 10. This is the book of St. John, chapter 10, and verse 12. It reads, but he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, right? Because the shepherd will warn the sheep. Danger, 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 get away. Wolf coming, a bear coming, a lion coming. But not a hireling. He don't care, man. And see, the people have become so used to not accepting warnings that they want hirelings, okay? That's why you can have a man that contemplates, if not actually went through the process of getting pegged and come back like nothing to it, okay? The people want that. They want those hirelings. They want those itching ears to be satisfied, okay? They don't want to take heed to the alarm that the men of the Lord are blowing that's been called to do this, okay? Jeremiah 3 and 15. Don't know if we read it, but we'll do it again. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3 and 15. Jeremiah 3 and 15, it reads, and I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Right. So the Most High has set up pastors that's going to feed you according to his heart. And I'm going to tell you that those pastors that he have set up aren't going to like to stick things up their rectum, okay? They just not, okay? That's a telltale sign that that person is not sent from the Lord, man. But you see, You 2/3. You like having itching ears, man. All right. You want these harlots. All right. So you're gonna get them. It says, verse 12, St. John 10:12. But he that is a hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf. Let me go back again. But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming and leaveth the sheep. See? So the hireling don't care about your safety, man. He don't care about sounding the alarm. All right, he got what he came after, the bag. Okay? So now that danger's coming, he's nowhere to be found. Here it is, the microchip is getting ready to be made mandatory, and you looking for answers whether or not you should take it. You should already know not to take it. But see, he can't tell you that or reassure you that because why? He's a hireling. He got the bag. His job is done. He's gone. Okay? We call that fly-by-night operation. Okay? Here today, gone tomorrow. All right? They here as long as the money's good. As long as the money's coming in, they here. Once the money stopped, they through, man. Okay? So he felt like he still can squeeze a little bit more out of you morons, man. I'm gonna call it what it is. He feel like even though he's been shown to be not a pastor of the Lord, he can still squeeze a little bit more out of you dumbass jakes, man. Okay? And you deserve it, man. Okay? Because why? You got respected person. Okay? I'm not gonna follow somebody that ordered a peg off the internet and wanted to examine with it, even if they try to say it was a prank or it didn't go through. I'm not, no. That's something that you don't put inside your rectum, your cavity, especially you're a man. Okay, that's going off, man. And then you claim to be the man of the Lord? Man, come on, man. You're a harlot, all right? So it says, and leaveth the sheep and fleeth, and the wolf catcheth them and scattereth the sheep. Right. So guess what? A lot of you gonna be taken by surprise, man, by that cunning wolf. Okay? That cunning wolf is gonna take a lot of y'all by surprise, man. Why? Because you ain't been taking heed to the warning. You've been given over to itching ears. You like this person because they seem to be cool. They got all the coolest fitted caps on, the throwback fitted caps. They got, hip hop apparel. Hey, we gonna see in that time, man, where they gonna be when you need sound doctrine. They ain't gonna be nowhere to be found, man. All right? Because why? They're hirelings. They only here to fatten their pockets. All right? When there's no more money coming in, they through. They packing up shop and leaving elsewhere. Okay? So it says, verse 13, the hireling fleeth, because he is an hireling and careth not for the sheep. All right? He don't care, man, whether or not you got the right batteries in, whether or not you got the right smoke detector, whether or not you got a carbon monoxide detector. He don't care. Okay? As long as you're willing to give him money, he's willing to feed you whatever you need to continue to have your ears, to have itching ears, okay? He's only here for the money, man. All right? That's what a hireling is set up for, to get the bag. They could care less about your well-being, man. All right? That's why the Most High has set up pastors according to his heart. All right? That should feed you with knowledge. That's going to tell you when you got hucksters playing you. And if you don't want to listen, then that's on you. Like that song goes by Yellow Breezy. That's on you, baby. That's on you, man. And we out here singing this song, telling you, get ready. All right, get ready. Like in the book of Matthew 24, get ready. Let's see if we can get that. me 1 second. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 37. It reads, "But as the days of Noah were," which is Noah, "so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." Let's see how those days were. "For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark." Same way they doing now, especially up under these false pastors and preachers and so-called prophets, man. All right? Telling them that, hey, you don't have to abide by all of Paul's writings. They're not authoritative. Okay? Going off, man. Allowing you to go up against the word of the Most High, man. All right? Just go out there and have a good time. Party. Passover 2026. We're going to do it bigger this time. Have no sense of urgency. All right? Wanting to be here for another 1,000 years. That's going off, man. You see? And that's the spirit that these false prophets are putting the people in that day of Noah type of spirit where they were out partying, drinking, giving in marriage, marrying. It says what? Verse 39, St. Matthew 24:39, "And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." Right. Gonna be a lot of unprepared people, man, when Yahushua shows up. Because why? They haven't been examining themselves. They don't have the right smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector to let them know that danger is coming. They're gonna be caught off guard, man. And these hirelings are gonna be nowhere to be found. Okay? Because why? They don't care about your safety, or they're not concerned about your well-being. All right? They don't care about your hygiene. All they care about is getting their pockets fat for the time being. All right? So the Most High has put man up that's going to feed you according to his heart with knowledge and understanding. Okay? And that's what we're here doing. All right? Abaratasa, Father will. Okay? So I believe that's going to be it. As far as pertaining to this lesson, this topic today, change your smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector, okay? So with that being said, we're going to turn to face the east and give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right? Shalom until the next time. If it be the Lord's will, shalom. All right? Peace.